Hey, this is Polyphonic Video Blog, and this is number 25. And the one thing I really wanted to talk about, and something that I noticed, is over the past month, about the past 3 months, I've been losing a lot of weight. And I really didn't think it was going to be that. I knew it was going to be hard. But one of the things that I noticed is I've now taught at almost a month and a half of specifically horn camps, one in New Hampshire and one in Los Angeles. And one of the things I've been noticing a lot is my playing, and this is something that it's probably going to be maybe not applicable to everybody, but a couple of people, really started we were all kind of working together and trying to figure out some ways to lose weight together as a team and trying to kind of figure out goals and how to work as a community together because everybody's like, you can't do it on your own, and for a large majority of this, I can't say there was anybody really like also losing weight with me. I've obviously had an incredible support network. I'm not denying that. I'm in a wonderful fiance who's been, I've been pretty much vegetarian, and she's hardcore vegetarian and has enjoyed cooking, and that kind of support is really important. But in terms of like having like a buddy, going to the gym with me, I really haven't. So, now that there's some kind of people going, but it's been a real great community kind of building experience, and the life change is difficult. Anyone who tells you it's easy is lying. There are parts of it that have been easy for me, but not everything. So it's just one of those things where there are some very unique challenges to losing weight, and even more so, there are some very unique challenges to losing weight as a musician. And one thing that I've noticed, particularly as a wind player, is that I've really had to revamp my entire approach to playing the horn over these past couple months in order to maintain that kind of sound. And there's a couple famous stories like about the principal horn player of the New York Philharmonic was a very heavy-set gentleman, and he had a stomach staple or a gastric bypass or something and lost a lot of weight, but then he kind of really didn't like the sound that happened. So that's one thing that I've been working a lot with a former player in Cleveland Symphony. His name's Eli Epstein. And I worked a little bit with him, and he kind of said, well, before, you had just that much mass to physically move the air, and I don't anymore. I've lost about 60 pounds, and I don't have that additional power to just kind of struggle through. So now I'm having to kind of really reinvigorate my abdominal muscles and really find ways to effectively play, cut these long phrases, which I've always been able to do, and I can't imagine that this is as much of a problem for like pianists or I mean, maybe it is. I'm open for it, but particularly when you've got wind players, any kind of singer, anyone who's producing some kind of internal resonance, it's going to affect it. And then anyone who's actually using air to create the resonance externally is going to change how you breathe. And I've really noticed that actually my sound is opening up even more now that I can't. I'm always on my students about kind of pinching and forcing, and I wasn't necessarily pinching and forcing up here, but I was kind of using this just kind of sledgehammer approach to my breathing, and it was just one thing that I really kind of woke up to and was finding that, wow, these things really need to change. So it's just some things to consider when you are doing lifestyle changes. Now, with the thing with Phil Myers is that he ended up, as the story goes, I could be completely wrong, but as he ended up going back to kind of more of a heavy set approach because he had his sound that he wanted to, and it's one of those things where, I'm willing to do a lot of stuff for my career, but this has been a real positive change for me that I feel in my approach to my lifestyle. And I'm not eating junk food anymore, and I'm not going to Taco Bell anymore, and I'm not doing stuff like that. So I really feel that this is kind of a long-term change that will allow me to continue my career even longer, and not only my career, but careers are important. Don't get me wrong in music, but my life, and it's one of those things where it's like, it would be kind of nice to live a little bit longer, because of the decisions I make now. So anyway, just some thought processes to think. If you're a person who has, kind of a struggle or some kind of thing to overcome as a musician, just remember you can do it. It's just helpful to have that support structure and know that, even though you might be getting these victories from, losing weight or doing whatever, that there might be some challenges that you don't expect and you don't anticipate, because I certainly did not anticipate having to really kind of revamp my horn playing as a result of this. So just some things to think about. Take it easy.